Hello and welcome to St. Paul's. I'm Pastor Jonathan. I am the senior pastor here, and I am joined by Pastor Mark Opran and Deacon Susan Jackson and Kevin the Lamb, and we are here for the monthly video epistle where we talk about all things here at St. Paul. Now, you will notice that we do not have our mask on, and that is because of a couple of reasons. Number one, we are socially distanced, and also all three of us have been fully vaccinated. And so we wanted to make sure that you knew why we had no mask on for this epistle. So let's get going. I wanted to let you know that on the 11th of April, we are having another collection for Mother Hubbard's Cupboard. We have had such great response for the first two collections we have done, and we look forward to seeing the collection that we have on the 11th. So if you have a donation you'd like to make to Mother Hubbard's Cupboard, bring it on Sunday morning at 9, 11, or at the drive-through communion at 12 o'clock. So please keep that in mind. And also, April 7th is when the vaccine is going to be available for everyone. And I encourage all of you to sign up for the vaccine and get vaccinated, because with that, you help us get a little bit closer to what we all want, and that is to return full and fully here at St. Paul's for worship and for ministry. And also, we are currently planning to continue the same indoor and outdoor formats for April. So that means 9 o'clock outdoors, 11 o'clock indoors, limited gathering. 11 o'clock, you do have to sign up for it. 9 o'clock, come one, come all. But at both services, please remember that masks are required. And then we have drive-through communion each and every Sunday from 12 until 1. We have gluten-free wafers and grape juice available at all the services for those of you who need those items. And I'm going to turn it over to my personal friend and my favorite pastor, Pastor Mark, who has an update of his own. Pastor Mark.
Thank you, Pastor Jonathan. Over the past few days, I've had an opportunity to reflect and share with you, actually, how different and yet how similar this past Holy Week and Easter was from other years. Now, it was different, Palm Sunday particularly, because the sanctuary was not as full as it has been traditionally this time of the year. Even so, the message of God's love in sending His Son to die for us has never changed. The pandemic has actually offered us significant opportunities to grow and learn and grow in Christ's love over this past year. Now, this has happened in ways that none of us might have imagined or envisioned a year ago. Now, having observed this, please don't get me wrong. I, like you, am looking forward to the end of the pandemic. We all feel so deeply about this. And by all accounts, thankfully, that day is drawing closer. But the end is not here yet. In some parts of the country, and certainly many places overseas, the virus is spreading more rapidly and with variants. So we must do what we can to bring an end to the pandemic and not hinder the good progress that we've made. Now, we have made really good progress in this congregation over the past months to find ways to gather and worship safely. We must continue these measures for everyone's safety. And that means wearing a properly fitted mask during worship services. And that's over the nose, folks. And as Pastor Jonathan said, I'm not being a good example of that now. It'd be almost like if I was, doing these announcements and saying, what? I am wearing a mask. No, it has to be properly fitted over the nose so that it does protect. So we continue to ask you to do this. And we're of course getting vaccinated, as Pastor Jonathan said, as soon as it becomes available to you, and thankfully that's happening more and more. So we're all growing weary of some of these necessities. However, we are so close, it would really be a great shame to let our guard down now and give the virus a foothold again. We don't want to do that. We won't be part of aiding and abetting that virus if we can help it. Now, in the meantime, we will continue to enjoy the gifts that God has given us. I look forward to seeing you at worship services. I love those opportunities to chat briefly with you drive-through communion participants at between 12 and 1. I love seeing the twinkles in your eyes and behind the mask as I serve many of you the cup at communion, whether inside, outside, or at drive-through. This all brings joy to my heart. The contributions that you've been making to Mother Hubbard, the feast gathering, Monday night feedings, and Family Promise in March are shining examples of our congregation's giving heart. And we will continue to look for opportunities to support and grow in these outreach ministries. God continues to bless us, and we do not take that for granted, and so we say thanks be to God. And God bless you all, and now here's Deacon Susan.
Thank you. Kevin and I hope that everyone has a happy and safe spring break. Because of spring break, we are taking a little bit of a break ourselves, and we look forward to seeing you at the end of April. In the meantime, if you are a graduate this year, start thinking about your graduate announcement and get your information into me so that we can work on our graduate recognition ceremony. I'll be sending out information later, but we will be asking for pictures again. Also, we are collecting items for the migrant care worker kits that our women's circles are sponsoring. There is a list of items available on the bit.ly link attached to this video. And if you have items to drop off, you don't need a bag. You can just drop the items off to the church on Sunday mornings or Tuesdays when our quilters meet. If you have any questions, you can reach out to Beth Pottle or Deb Deletko. That is all for us. Pastor Jonathan?
Thank you very much, Deacon Susan. And Kevin, it's always good to see you and your fluffy self, so glad that you joined us today. Got a couple of other things we wanted to bring to your attention. First off, the website for St. Paul's, stpaulswilmington.org, is undergoing some additional updates over the coming months, so please pay attention to what we are doing over there. And we are exploring the possibility of what we can do to make the website more welcoming, not only for members, but especially for those who are visiting us and wanting to know more about our faith community. We also want to say thank you for the continued support for the volunteers who are doing everything possible to make everything that we do here important and impactful. And I especially want to thank Anita Heston, who is stepping away from the Monday night feedings. And since the Monday night feedings began in 2006, Anita has been there as a lead cook, assistant cook, and server. And I'm pretty sure that if you've shown up on a Monday night at a feeding, you've probably seen Anita. So we want to say thank you, Anita, for all that you have done to make the Monday night feedings an important ministry here at St. Paul's. And we thank you for being an example of being a true servant of Christ and serving our fellow homeless and brothers and sisters. So we really appreciate it, Anita, and God bless and thank you so much. I also want to thank everybody for your financial support. Because of your financial support, we are able to continue to serve God and one another. And because of you, we are able to bring God's grace and God's good news in new and exciting ways. And in closing, I want to read from the prophet Jeremiah. Blessed are those who trust in the Lord, whose trust is the Lord. They shall be like a tree planted by water, sending out its roots by the stream. The tree shall not fear when heat comes, and its leaves shall stay green. In the year of drought, it is not anxious, and it does not cease to bear fruit. This past year, with a pandemic, with anxiety at an all-time high, we continue to bear the fruits of the spirits. You are making a difference, and we thank you. So we will see you next month for another video epistle, and we thank you for being a part of St. Paul's Lutheran Church. We're here at St. Paul's, all means all. You take care, and God bless everybody.